Yes, welcome
Mr.
back.
Dale. Okay, thank you for being there. I think I was taken out. I don't know, maybe some network issues.
Yeah, you were even lost.
So I think some others have joined now, and I would like to welcome all of you on our next series. And today, we continue with our subject on the leadership skills. And we are starting on a very important component. We call it interpersonal skills. That will carry out almost for next 2 weeks. Why? Because within it, there are a number of subsections that are very imperative for a leader to cover. There are many things we are doing, but without any training, without any skill, but better understanding and being skilled on them, it's very imperative for anyone who want to raise to the top. And as I said before, leadership is a skill. And if it's a skill, then it's learnable. There is nothing called inborn leader. Yes, there's some skills because of your background, your family issues might have engrossed within your family system. Notwithstanding that, always, to most of us, whom we came from families that are far from the original families that we know, we need to learn. And learning is hard. But the good thing is life will always give us a chance to advance to a better view when we learn. So I would like to welcome all of you, and it's my prayer that we take an in-depth understanding of this issue so that we may be able to master the art of interpersonal skill that will lead us to better decision makers, and entirely at bottom line, we are talking about better leaders. So I'd like to quote from a man called Jack Welch. Anybody who is familiar with Jack Welch? He was one of the CEO. We can talk about if you want to talk about biography of top CEO in the world, is one of them with General Motors, and the other, we call them Fortune 500 companies in the US. Always when you want to talk about leadership, those are the place you can always engross some character, behaviors, and knowledge from them. So what he said a leader's intelligence has to have strong emotional components. He or she has to have a high level of self-awareness, maturity, and self-control. Please, I underline those words. Self-awareness, you need to know what is your weakness. For example, among us here, some people might be with very high degree of temper. And most of the time, they made some of the very stupid decisions because of temper. But they don't have proper awareness. Why do they have temper? There are some leaders of this country, their temper in such a way they could destroy or kill someone. But since they're not aware, it went with them. Why? Because they were not able to transform and become better themselves so that they would be better leaders. So self-awareness, maturity. When you say someone is mature, is a person who is able to take responsibility. Is a person who is able, you tell him to do something, you don't need to stand at his back. You know for sure he will do it to the best. Is a person who knows life and understanding the end result of life. I shall go to the details of that. And lastly, self-control. So typically, emotion is about your self-awareness, maturity, and self-control. Now, it's not my interest to go to the depth of the topic. As I said before, Madam Aziza will come in soon, and she will carry us through the slides that will be on the screen. I just want to introduce the broader topic and for all of us to immerse ourselves to the subject matter. A person with pure ability to have interpersonal skills is a person who can master any circumstance in this world. And I can assure you, if you take this subject seriously, people never know your intention, but will always be wondering, you've got certain maybe inborn capabilities. And they'll just think perhaps you've been raised from a family that has been able to engross those characteristics. So I repeat, leadership is about intelligence. And intelligence, one of the major components of intelligence is what we call emotional intelligence. And therefore, amongst the many interpersonal skills we're going to be studying is called emotional intelligence. Another one would be teamwork skills. Another one will be the public speaking and communication skills. Another one will be the conflict management and resolution skills, etc. So those are all embedded within interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills are the skills that enable you to communicate with yourself and your environment. I repeat, interpersonal skills are the skills that enable you to communicate within yourself and your environment. Understanding yourself so that you can be able to influence your environment. So having said so, I would like us to start by exercise, a simple exercise. I believe most of you have received the document sent to you by Lozi. How many have received? I don't know.
Isaiah, I've received.
You got it? You got it?
I've received.
Okay, that's great. Pusa Johnson?
Yeah, of course, they receive right now.
Okay, and Mr. Sostenes? Mr. Sostenes? You got the document? Mr. Sostenes? Mr. Sostenes, are you around? Mr. Sostenes, do you get the document? All right. So I would like us to go through the grid very quickly. So please, if you can have a piece of paper where you are, this is called emotional test. If you can have a piece of paper, all right, and a pen. We're gonna do a simple exercise online so that we may all being able to understand these subjects, because otherwise I don't want to go to the theory. I want to go to the practice. Mr. Sostenes, you got the paper? Are you around? Mr. Bagume? All right. Everybody, are you there already?
Yes, Doctor.
Yes.
All right. So let's start with our first question. Going to the sheet you've got on page number 2, there are some questions I want also for us to quickly grasp as we are waiting soon for our facilitator to take us on board with 360-degree coverage. Now, our first question, our first approach is we're going to score honestly from your heart. We've got 50 questions. And please make sure that you score from your heart, not because you want to just please somebody. So every question I'll ask, you need to put a score between 1 to 5. So if it's question 1, your answer should be 1. You write 1. If it is 2, you write 2. So just write question 1-1. Also, I'm doing the same. But be honest to yourself. All right? Can we start?
Sorry, sir.
Yes. Somebody's missing the document?
Define the numbers again because
Okay. The rating scale, when I ask a question, you look inside yourself and rank it from 1 to 5. 1 means does not apply at all. It means it's very minimal with that factor. 2 means a bit little, not much. 3 means, oh, now you're just saying about me. 5 means, that has been my problem, and I've been trying to address that, but I failed. Right? So between 1 to 5, you just being very clear whether that thing is straightforward to you or it isn't. So all of us, we're gonna be trying to do that. Is that clear?
Yes, it's clear.
All right. Okay. So now let's start with our first question. So you rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 5. It is important because that's the only way, it's just like food. The only way you know that the food has been good for you is when you eat, not when you smell. When you smell, there is not much. But when you decide to eat, then you know, okay, this food is tasty, this food is bad, or this food is good. So in a count of 3, I will start our first question. Please don't stretch yourself too much. I'm also writing up my piece of paper to engross what you're going to be covering. So our first question is, I realize immediately when I lose temper. In case you lose temper, all of us in one way or another, we have got a temper problem, just a degree matters. But there are people, they may lose temper very quick. There are people may take time. There are people, they may be ahead of their temper, so they control themselves. Now, what about you? So my question is, sorry, before I go to the question, Adija, you are joining in?
Yes, doctor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Fine, doctor.
So I was explaining that we are starting with the test today. Are you ready?
Oh.
All right. It's a simple test. We call it emotional test.
Okay.
So it's a test on yourself, not the normal classic test you have got at school. This is not a class for that nature. So I've got some questions here very quickly. We're going to run together in next 15 minutes. Now, when I ask you a question, your answer should be between 1 to 5. So if I say question number 1, you are supposed to say either it's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Now, 1, it means what I'm asking does not apply to you. 2 means it applies little. 3 means it applies so much. 4 means, this is who I am. You got it? Adija, got it?
Yes, doctor. Yes.
All right. So I'm going to question number 1. Aziza, you're welcome. So we are in the emotional analysis test 1. So we are all in the exam today. So we need to question ourselves in depth and write the answer. You're welcome, Madam Aziza.
Thank you.
All right, so question number 1. I realize immediately when I lose my temper. So on a scale of 1 to 5, if it is 1, it means you don't lose your temper at all, never in your life. And you may be lying to yourself. Otherwise, you're not a human being. Okay. Number 2, yeah, somehow. Number 3, Number 4, that's my obvious me. Number 5, it means, oh, you may slap somebody when your boss. All right, where are you? So put your answer there. Don't tell me. Between 1 to 5. Now we go to question number 2. Anybody have left behind? Anyone have left behind?
I can proceed.
Pardon? All right, so you can see on the screen. Thank you so much, Aziza.
You're welcome.
Appreciate for that. I was using my mobile phone as an additional tool because I'm using my iPad. All right, so the question number 1 is, I realized immediately when I lose my temper. So what's your answer? You put there, put on your piece of paper. Or if you've got a computer, write down 1, the answer is what? Don't write the question because it's wastage of time. All right, anybody have left a lot behind? Mr. Jonathan, you've got something you're not clear?
No, I'm good. I'm with you.
That's great. All right, we come to second question. I can reframe my body questions quickly. You see number 2, I can reframe my body situation quickly. Okay, that is happen a body situation with somebody has offended you. How long do you take to come to your normal routine, to come to your normal you? So if it's 1, it means very quickly. It automatically, you can't, there's no way you can go to body situation. But number 5 means until you ask for forgiveness. Otherwise, I will take years. That will be in my hand. Where are you? All right. Question number 3. I'm able to always motivate myself to do difficult tasks. If today I give you a mathematical question, if x equals to lambda total x minus z, and you'd say, that I can't do it. Or you will say, okay, let me attempt it. Or you say, this man wants to confuse us. Or you say, yes, this is for me. Where are you? So your response will depend on number 1 to number 5. Number 1 means when you face a difficult task, that's part of your life. You don't worry. You don't ignore it. It means even if you've got a certain assignment to do it very fast, no matter what, you can go even spending the whole night making sure that you can do it. No matter whether there is something in management, we call it eating the frog in the morning. Whether you can eat the frog, you know frog, how many knows the frogs? So eating the breakfast of a frog in the morning. Where are you? Between 1 to 5. 1 means I can't eat the frog. No. Number 5, sorry. Number 1 means I cannot do it. Number 1 means naturally I can do it. Are we together? All right. Question number 4. I'm always able to. Yes.
Yeah, of course, I got confused. Yeah, between the 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 is you are opposed or you propose with the situation.
Oh, thank you so much. Look on the scale at the top of the screen, which you have. You got the screen there. 1 means does not apply. It is something which is not a big. That is. You don't even motivate yourself. You understand? This one for this question, but so each question differs. I'm able to always motivate myself to do difficult tasks. So on scale number 1, it means does not apply at all. You don't do it. Number 2, you apply half times or a bit. Number 5, you always there. You want a difficult task. You can eat the frog in the breakfast in the morning. Is that clear?
Yes.
All right. So what is your answer? All right, keep that in your hand. I don't know. All right, question number 5 now. Number 4, eh?
Number 4.
All right. I'm always able to see things from other person's viewpoint. I'm always able to see things from other person's viewpoint. Number 1 means you can't see. You're always maintaining your position. Someone might have offended you, and you just want to brush that person until he knows that this world is a mistake for him to be there. You always carry the burden of another person, or you always feel yourself to be immutable. Out in your zembe too. That's why they've done all that. These are stupid people. I'm always better. It's because of their background whatsoever. What is your really picture of you? What is your really view? If you meet someone who is poor on the Lord, do you feel that being in their shoes? Do you feel that because of their laziness, that's why they who they are? Do you feel that thinking about the night they're going to spend without a blanket? You feel that, you feel your body sometimes shivers, feeling another person's idea. Always want to listen to another person viewpoint. So that's number 5. But lesser than that, it means that is your personal behavior is more relevant than anybody. What you believe that's correct, you can't take another person's view. So where are you? Number 5. Time is not with us. Number 5, I'm an excellent listener. I'm an excellent listener. When someone wants to tell you the story, are you already concluding? I know it already. Even if a child is coming to you, you know it already. But are you able to put up your time to listen? Are you able to understand their viewpoint? Are you a good listener? Or you always being interrupting and interjecting? What kind of picture you are? What kind of approach you have? When someone who is very stupid wants to tell you something, will you conclude before even listening to it? Or you listen to the end without interruption, and then you come to your own viewpoint? What is your position on that? So, are you an excellent listener? All right, question number 6. Today's exam is difficult, it's not easy. All right, I know when I'm happy. Do you know when you are happy? The opposite to that, do you know when you are angry? So I expect the answer to question number 1 and number 6 won't differ. This is called IQ. This is called emotional test. This is called the character test. So if you see your question number 1 and number 6, they go different, we know you've got a problem. All right. I know when I'm happy. Oh, you don't know when you're happy. So you don't know even when you're angry. All right, guys. Question number 7. I do wear my heart on my sleeve. Do you have a control of your heart? Do you know what your heart thinks? Many times, your heart might be very in a bad situation while your mood might be proper. For example, waking up in the morning, do you know for sure that your mood might be bad, but can you control your mood? Every one of us, you may wake in the morning. For example, this afternoon I've been resting. I woke up, I just find myself that I'm not very well. But I said, all right, I'm going to the class. I need to compose myself, putting myself in a better view and just being there. So I put my heart in my sleeve. Do you have difference? There's a difference between you and your heart. Can you take control or take off your heart? That is, can your mood control you or you can control your mood? So be honest to yourself. All right, so this is one of the difficult questions.
That is so nice.
All right. Okay, question number 8. I'm usually able to prioritize important activity at work and get on well with them. When you go to the office, you start looking on your phone or any task which you have got ahead of you, or you start working first. Do you start eating the flop first, or until you look to answer that small email, small WhatsApp message, then you can continue, or you can focus on your task and move very well? That's question number 8. So a person who has got very poor skill on this, it means always has got a lot of backlog. There's no way he can deliver very quickly because for him, he don't prioritize which is first one. Or another way to ask you this question: do you do best when you are in rush, or you do best when you're calm? There are people that will wait, or they say, until things have got we call what? Deadline. Then you see my skill. I'm very good on that. If there is no deadline, yes. So question number 8. That's the basis of question number 8. I'm usually able to prioritize important activities at work and get on with them. Not only work, but in life. Are you able to do so? Okay, question number 9. I'm excellent at emphasizing with someone else's problem. When someone is in a mess, someone has done all the blunder you can have in this world, can you being able to be empathetical? Can you care his heart? Can you feel what he feels? When someone is disgruntled, what is your feeling? Can you take care and being just on the way he thinks? Can you get the feeling he thinks? So I'm excellent in empathizing with someone else's problem. Because there is something called empathy and there is something called sympathy. Sympathy means someone is dead. You don't feel that loss, but you feel bad about that. But empathy, it means feeling of the death yourself. Where are you? All right. That's your secret. And we don't need to know it, but we'll know later. Number 10. I never interrupt other people's conversations. This I need not to explain. What is your position? When someone is telling you something, you wait until he finishes, or you interrupt and you come to your own conclusion. Or people are speaking somewhere, you see people sitting somewhere. You want to see more important yourself so that you may greet them, or you leave them so that they may feel to continue their discussion. Where are you? I never interrupt others people's conversation. All right. Number 11. Wow, the time is not with us. Maybe we have to finish somewhere. I usually recognize when I'm stressed. What is your stress meter? I usually recognize when I'm stressed. I need to explain about this. When you've got stress in your mind, do you recognize that? Or you find some behavior changes. You start doing things which is, why am I writing on the wall? Why am I tapping my pen on my mouth? Why am I flickering my eye? Do you know when you're stressed? Okay, number 12. Others can clearly tell what kind of mood I'm in. This I think also I need not to explain. When people see you, can they tell that today, uko ovyo kweli? You're not okay, or you're just flown in your face? Can people tell that? It say that I'd say that sorry, is number 12. Others can really tell what kind of mood I'm in. Okay. For sanguine, this you cannot tell. Always sanguine will be failures here. Number 13. I always meet deadlines. Where are you? Okay. Then you've got number 15. Number
14.
14.
Pardon?
14.
Number 14.
14.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, people are there. I thought the exam is too tough. Okay, number 14. The question is, I can tell if someone is not happy with me. I can tell if someone is not happy with me. Okay, I need not to explain about that. I know the people, you can just even show to your face that, hey, please move away, but they still continue to talk. Right? Can you tell if someone, can you just lead the people's thinking, the people's minds, and tell that people, yeah, I need to leave. I think I've overstayed. I can tell if someone is not happy with me. Number 15. I am good at adapting and mixing with variety of people. This sanguine is marked number 5. I am good at adapting and mixing with various type of people. So you tell us, but for programmatic, I think this would be a bigger problem. All right. Number 16. When I'm being emotional, I'm aware of this. Or you overreact. You just find yourself, you're just moving with the drum. You can't control yourself. When I'm being emotional, I'm aware of this. All right, number 17. I rarely fly off the handle at other people. Do you blame others for something which you can take responsibility? That's a level of understanding of comprehension this question is. That is flying off the handle. Do you take full responsibility of yourself? Question number 18. I never waste time. I never waste time. You've got a program in your life. Every day you've got the to-do list and you're just there in it. I never waste time. All right. You don't watch movies. You don't watch TVs. You don't watch football. I don't know. Okay, think about it. I can tell if a team of people are not getting along with each other. When you look at people doing something, you can tell, this won't go far. Even if you look at the government, for example, you may be able to tell this government with the ministers, seems something is serious. You can know it. And it's true. That is, even if you're watching football, you will say for sure this team won't win. Not because of the biasness, but you're sure there is something feeling about that. All right, number 20. People are the most interesting thing in life for me. Do you like people or you hate people? Some people avoid people. I know for some this may be the better position for them, but for others, maybe that is difficult. Number 21, when I feel anxious, I usually can count for the reasons. When I feel anxious, whether positively or negatively, I usually can count for the reasons. Do you know when you are anxious on yourself? Number
22.
22. Difficult people do not annoy me. There are people who are difficult. You want just to talk. You want just to do what you believe to be correct. What is your take? Do they annoy you? Do they put you off balance? So difficult people do not annoy me. Where are you? Number 23. I do not prevaricate. Aziza, you're from UK. What is this word? Someone could Google for us.
I'm just Googling.
Tell us, what is it? Also, Stennis, I think you've been in Europe. So tell us what.
Let's see Google.
Divert from the truth.
Divert from the truth. Okay. Prevaricate. How does it pronounce? Can you tell us? I think Google can tell us the pronunciation.
Prevaricate.
Prevaricate. Wow, that's a new terminology for next weekend. Hey, don't prevaricate. What does it mean?
Don't divert from the truth.
Don't divert from the truth. That is, you change because of those are the what we learned about laws of power. Do you use them? If you don't use them, then you're good. Otherwise, you're prevaricator. Okay. I can usually understand why people are being difficult towards me. You can lead when people don't want to understand you. Or you always complain that I don't know why people don't understand. Are you able to read people? Why do they not understand your point of view? All right, number 25. Somebody is having any question? I don't see any hand, so we continue. Number 25. I love to meet new people and get to know what makes them tick. Where are you there? I think for women, that would be high score. I love to meet new people and get to know what makes them tick. Why are they happy? Why do they enjoy life? You like that? That's a question. All right, number 26. Guys, the remaining part, I need to go faster because you've understood now the logic. I always know when I'm being unreasonable. You know for sure here, I just talk, but I know for sure this, I'm not honest with this. Do you know, or you just go on and people, they tell you, but you're very unreasonable today. Why did you react that way? All right, number 27 now. Somebody want to say something? All right, number 27. I can consciously alter my frame of mind or mood. Can you change? Or when you are angry, you are angry. People know it. Can you alter your frame of mood based on circumstance? Mimi nikikasirika watu wanajua. Or you can change your mood. People don't understand who you are. That's a kind of question. So where are you? I can consciously alter my frame of mind or mood. Number 28. I believe you should do the difficult things first. Do you eat the frog first, or you start with the internet and the email answering? That's what we talk about. Okay, number 29. Other individuals are not difficult, just different. Do you take people when they differ with you as an offense, or you take it just because of different viewpoint? That is just because you don't look the way they see. What's your take? All right, number 30. I need a variety of work colleague to make my job interesting. That you need always to work in a group of people. You can't do yourself. Sometimes it's difficult to focus and concentrate. You get them motivating you. Different people. That is my tasking or doing yourself one thing per time. That's the meaning of that. Number 31. Awareness of my own emotion is very important to me at all times. As you wake up in the morning, do you know your emotion? When you discuss with people, do you know your emotion? Can you control your temper? Or people know for sure this woman has gone out or has become mad now. So that's very question you're putting there. Number 32. I do not let a stressful situation or people affect me once I've left to work. If you're working, if you're schooling, do you also enjoy some people to tell you about their situation, what they want you to help them? Are you able to support people continuously? That's the meaning of that. Number 33. Delayed gratification is a virtue that I can hold. Delayed gratification is a virtue that I can hold. When you talk about gratification, that is, can you wait and invest your time to do something until the end? Or you'd like to quickly want this. So for example, we can talk about this is when you meet a young girl, if you want to marry, some Frateri Isaiah now want to get married, I don't know. Maybe she can change his mind later. Okay. When you get a beautiful girl, will you wait until you're waiting for next 3 years, or you will start eating the fruits now immediately? That's kind of a thing. What is your level? So I'm putting a bad example, but I believe it's well understood. So you delay gratification. That do you want to wait until the situation comes, you make up arrangement, or you will start enjoying yourselves very, very well? That's can you delay your gratification, or you can quickly want it? All right. That's delayed gratification is a virtue that I hold. Where are you? Be honest to yourself, man. All right. Number 34. I can understand if I'm being unreasonable. This now is a question that is repeating itself. Want to see if you are honest to yourself. There's a bad question with the so-called aptitude test. This is a kind of aptitude test. Always you put question here and there so that you may see if you're a liar. So you may test also if you're lying. All right. So I can understand if I'm being unreasonable. Is that something you know? Question number 35. So your answer to the previous question must not be different from this one. Question number 35. I like to ask questions to find out what is important to the people. So you may be presenting your own point of view, but are you ready to also take into consideration others' point of view? All right. Wow. Somebody circled something there. I did. Aziza, are you the one did that?
No, it wasn't.
I like to ask a question to find what is. So I'm in the question number 35, but something is there circled very. You're putting a circle. That's great. Thank you. I thought that is a very specific question for that. All right. Number 36. I can tell if someone is upset or annoyed me. Okay, someone is upset with you or is annoyed you. Can you tell? Or you don't know until the people tells you, that man wanted to upset you. All right. Number 37, sorry. I really worry about work and life in general. You take easy. If you ever worried about tomorrow, what will it be like? So I really worry about life, work or life in general. What is your position? Do you worry about life? Be honest, please. All right, number 38. I believe in action this day. You want to complete what's supposed to be done today. You're not a procrastinator. Procrastinator means postpone something you can do today for tomorrow. Where are you? Okay, number 39. We are remaining with 10 questions only. We are remaining with 10 questions only. Number 39. Please allow me to adjust my screen so that we may go together. I can understand why my actions sometimes offend others. Can you understand that? Do you know yourself that sometimes people are offended by your actions? But do you know about that? That's kind of a question. Okay, let's go to question number 40. Question number 40. Question number 40. The question says, I see working with difficult people as a simple challenge to win them over. There are people who are difficult, I can assure you. Sometimes when women in marriage or men in marriage might be difficult. Do you think that is a challenge or you think it's a problem? Challenge means you can solve it. Problem means I feel very bad. I want to move away from this. Sometimes many people I've met, they say, this boss is very bad. This kind of a picture. I can't work with him. No. But what do you take? I see working with difficult people is simply a challenge to win over them. Or you wish to learn from office because of a boss, difficult boss. We don't learn from office, but where are you? Be honest. All right, number 41. We've got 9 questions to go. I can get anger go quickly so that it no longer affects me. When someone is disturbed you in the morning, will that go for 3 days or could it move away? All right, number 42. I can suppress my emotions when I need to. When you become so angry, can you again liberate yourself and return to normal? Or you become very happy, can you again compose yourself? When today you receive a letter of a very big thing, will you carry it in your heart or will you explode? This kind of a question. Some of us, we start calling immediately. All right, question number 43. I can always motivate myself even when I feel low. There are days you wake up very low in life. Are you able to motivate yourself? Number 44. I can sometimes see things from others' point of view. Okay, number 45. I'm good at reconciling differences with other people. I am good at reconciling difference with other people. Do you want to continue fighting unatengeneza ligi, or you may clean up and continue the life? Okay, I don't know. Number 46, 4 questions to go. I know what makes me happy. Mr. Sustainers, do you know?
Yes, for sure. That is how I know.
All right, 47. Others often do not know how I am feeling about things. The people knows you, black and white. Can they lead you? All right, number 48. 2 questions to go. Number 48. Motivations has been the key to my success. Motivations has been the key to my success. Do you do things because you're motivated for something? Do you have a self-motivation? Or you wait until someone pumps you to make a difference? Number 49. Reasons for disagreements are always clear to me. When you differ with some people, they take their position, you take a position. Do you understand why do they take that way? Or you need to think, or you may cry. Why don't they understand me? What is your position? Last question. As we finish your exams, soon you say pens up. I generally build solid relationship with those I work with. Do you build a solid relationship, or is just after work, that's life is gone? Do they still remember you when you are gone, or you just move? This is a situation whereby you may be shifting from one organization to another, one school to another, one graduation to another. Do still people want you to be with them? That's kind of thing we're talking about. Or they'll say, Wana, let's go, and you don't mind also. Everyone anachukua vitu vyake anaondoka zake. So I generally build solid relationship with those I work with. So be honest to yourself. All right, guys, congratulations. This first part of examination. Don't don't lose those scores. We're going to second part. Now this you'll do at your time. All right, I want to give the direction. Next week, we shall try to assess. It's very important. Please understand it's very important because this is called a SWOT analysis of your own. And these questions, 50 questions, if those people are doing the exam called aptitude test, I don't know how many of you have done that. Those are the basic questions always we do. You are given 1 hour and you need to answer very quickly 100 questions. So this is the same with that one. We want to see your character. Certain jobs in life, they require people with certain behavior, with certain motivation. So they want to see the character of a person. For example, as I told you before, according to Jack Welch, I'll repeat that quote. He says that a leader's intelligence has to have a strong emotional component. He or she has to have high levels of self-awareness, maturity, and self-control. So if I want to put you to the leadership position, I'll always give this exam to you and get your score. I'll give again this exam to you and get your score, and 3 times, so that I may see whether you're plagiarizing, you're honest, or you're not honest. And then I will conclude whether you can give you a leadership position or not. Why? Let me be honest with you. There is a difference between IQ, intelligent quotient, whereby you measure at class scoring A's, straight A's, but you may be having a very poor EQ. EQ means emotional intelligence, social skills. So no matter what is your score at school, life is not determined by your IQ. No. When you move from school, you come to life. Life is determined by your emotional intelligence. To be well or to live well in life will much depend on your level and the ability of emotional intelligence, not on your school intelligence. That is IQ. That's why many people have not gone even to class 1, but they've got very good emotional intelligence. Someone might be dead on your neighborhood. You don't even consider going to say, oh, we are sorry for that. Yes, you might be having all A's on your door, but you are useless to society. Nobody will care for you. So what you need to build is emotional. That is social skills. And your measurement of social skill depends on what score you get from this exam. People want to repeat. No, there's no point of repeating. That's average of who you are. Okay. All right, guys. So I just wanted to emphasize the importance of the emotional intelligence as a leader. Leadership is not about IQ. That's why someone they want to appoint in the position in the government or somewhere else, you may find someone is very good, is a doctor or is a professor, but has very poor emotional intelligence. You cannot put him in leadership position. He will mess up, no matter his scores at school. So you need always to consider the level of emotional intelligence, not intelligent quotient. And I want to repeat what Jack Welch said. A leader's intelligence has to have a strong emotional component. And the word emotional, it comes from the 2 words, E and emotion. E and emotion, that human being, they're not frigid, they're not static. Always their minds is on move. Depends on the circumstance. Now, you can't move unidirectional. You need to control your emotions so that you may be able to support building a better society. So after graduating from your college, forget about your certificates. They're useless. Nobody cares about certificate in this world. Maybe if you want to go to the operational role. But if you go to operational, soon you'll become a leader. And once you're a leader, your stay in leadership position will much depend on your emotional capability. emotional quotient, emotional factoring, emotional component. Having said so, let me go now to the second part, of which I want you to do as your homework. No, that one, please, don't go down, up. So, listen carefully and let's understand each other. Please finish this one. Next week, you're going to start with this, just a brief, then we shall continue, because we need to go to the class now. There are 5 areas for exploration on the screen, which is ahead of you. The first one is self-awareness. Have you seen at the top? Second one is managing emotions. Third one is motivating oneself. Fifth one is empathy. And last one is social skills. So question number 1, which we did, number 6, number 11, number 16, number 21, number 26, number 31, 36, 41, and 46, we are talking and trying to test it. Where is your self-awareness? Do you know yourself? So please, you fill in. If you didn't receive this assessment tool, please ask Elozi, we'll give to you. Then question number 2, 7, 12, 17, 22, 27, 32, 37, 42 to 47 is about managing emotion. Want to test whether you're able to manage emotion. So please put the answer there. You put from that many score, you transfer them to those question number 2, 3, 7, 12, 17, and 22. Question number 3, 8, 13, 18, 23, 28, 33, 38, 43, 48 is about motivating oneself. Are you able to motivate yourself? For those people reading the Bible saying, Daudi akajitia nguvu katika Mungu wake. Can you able to come out from the mess and say, yes, I can move on? That's leadership. So we'll test that. Question number 4, 9, 14, 19, 34, 39, 44, 49 is about empathy. Can you wear the other people's shoes? Do you know where they pinch? Does it also pinch you? So we'll take assessment on that. And last one is your social skill. Question number 5, number 10, 16, 20, 26, 30, 45, and 50. So put your score there and get the total. You add up. I think you need a calculator. Those people have got the, those people like Bagume, I think, can add by his head. All right, so you get the total down there. And on managing emotion, total. On motivating oneself, total. Empath, total. Please make sure that you do this. You know why? It is better, it's easier to improve yourself from there than otherwise. So, in any area, if you score total between 35 and 50, it means you are very strong in that area. If you score total between 18 and 34, brother, try to improve somewhere. But if you score 10 to 17, please make sure that you attend this class to the end. And also find a mentor to make you improve. Otherwise, your EQ is very poor. Your EQ on that area is very poor. So from there, you need to put up a record about yourself. So on self-awareness, according to the assessment you've done on top there, what is your strength? What area you need attention? What area you need to improve? So you put up a score sheet. So please, this is a permanent sheet for your life, if really you want to improve. Otherwise, I don't think that we're here to waste our time. We are using a lot of money, energy, and the effort. We want to make leaders out of these meetings. So naturally, I would like you to take this exercise very seriously, but also to help you, not for us, not for anybody else, not for anyone who's presenting, but it's for all of us to develop ourselves. When you get opportunity to improve yourself, you are the only merchandise. You are the only item that you can sell in this world. So the better you polish it, the better can be your tomorrow. Otherwise, it will be very difficult. So make sure that you put up into your plan and to move forward from this. Anyone with a question? So this is an exercise. Please make sure that after this class, you get time to finish it. You get time to finish it. Otherwise, I think that all of us were there. I can see some people are still pondering. As I welcome Madam Aziza, and later Isaiah will take us on the social skill later, but major part will be taken by Aziza. I would like to again repeat, thank you very much for focusing and doing this test, because some people always learn from exams. So congratulations. That shows that you can tolerate. So some of the scores you put 4, put 5. Congratulations for that. Having said so, I would like to repeat what Jack Walsh said. Jack Walsh said, a leader's intelligence has to have a strong emotional component. A leader's intelligence has to have a strong emotional component. He or she has to have high levels, and I repeat, high levels of self-awareness, maturity, and self-control. And this is only where you can build up your skill in this area. Having said so, I would like to welcome, with due respect, Madam Aziza. And as I said when we begin these classes, we're all learning. So please, you feel that you want to ask a question. Today we'll be paying a lot of attention on the rising hand. Mr. Deo. Mr. Deo?
Yes, hello.
Mr. Deo. Yeah, perhaps if we can forget, if you find, maybe you give us again a recap on how to raise our hand so that we may not interrupt.
Okay.
And then, Madam Aziz, I think you are there. You're there. So
Yes,
as Deo finishes it, I would like to welcome her. I
Yes.
know your emotions are up now, so please don't move us emotionally, but help us to understand. So members, welcome. Is welcome, Madam Aziza. Let's allow her to proceed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Aziza.
Yes, good evening, everyone.
If you put your slides on presentation mode, maybe it can be better seen by people.
How do I?
But you find the best way you can do. I may move away from emotion now.
Okay. No.
I think down there, on bottom of your screen.
Down.
Yeah, the one showing the presentation mode.
Presentation. This one? This one?
No. Have you seen?
The next one.
Reading view.
The next one, presentation one.
This one, slideshow.
Yeah, slideshow, yes.
Like this?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So as Dr. Sako was telling us about emotional intelligence skills, today our main topic is interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills are skills that we use in our daily lives to communicate with other people and to interact with other people, both individually and in groups. Emotional intelligence is part of interpersonal skills. Now, like Dr. Sako explained to us, emotional intelligence is the measure of how good you are at interpreting, understanding the emotions of yourself and other people. So emotional intelligence requires you to understand your own emotions and understand the emotions of other people. Now, emotional intelligence is categorized into 4 groups so that we can understand more what is the content of emotional intelligence. The 4 groups are self-awareness, as you can see in my screen, self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. All these 4 components are part of emotional intelligence. We're going to see how what does self-awareness mean. Self-awareness is the ability of a person to be aware of themselves, of the emotions and the feelings that they have personally. So if you understand when you're mad, when you're angry, when you're happy, and your other moods, that means you're self-aware. You're aware of yourself. Example, we went through some questions through the questionnaires that we went through with Dr. Sako. There are some other questions that asked about our self-awareness. Are we aware if we're angry, if we're mad, the amount of moods that we have? That is part of self-awareness. The other category of emotional intelligence is self-control. After having known your self-awareness, that you're aware of yourself, this requires you to self-control, to control it. The reason why you need to be aware of yourself is that so that it gives you an ability to control your moods. Example, when you're happy or when you're angry or when you're stressed. When you realize you're stressed or you're angry, you're not okay by that time, you're able to postpone some few engagements if they need you to be at a certain mood and you're in a different mood from that. So in order for you to not blow the deal away or the opportunity away, you can reschedule into another day. So it helps you to have control over your feelings and your emotions. That's another category of emotional intelligence, which is the same as self-management. Self-management and self-control are the same thing. It involves you keeping destructive emotions and impulses in check. If you're having a different mood or a different emotion at that time, maybe you're in a situation where you're talking to someone and you're very angry, you want to answer them in a bad way. If you have self-control, that means you have the ability of maintaining yourself, controlling yourself to not answer in a bad way. So this will help you in the future. And also the other category in emotional intelligence is social awareness. Social awareness involves a person who's aware with other people's emotions. It is the opposite of self-awareness. Self-awareness, you are aware of your own emotions and feelings, and you know which feeling is coming from which situation and which mood is coming from which source. You're aware of yourself and everything that is going on in your body and in your mind. Social awareness is the opposite of that. Social awareness means you're aware of what other people are thinking and the emotional state of other people. So also through those questions that we went through before coming into these categories, we were also able to see that some of them were testing our social awareness. Are we aware if other people are not okay in a particular situation? The other component or category of emotional intelligence is relationship management. Relationship management requires regulating the emotions, yours and other people's emotions, and also controlling them. So in relationship management, you need to have self-awareness, you need to have self-control and social awareness so that you can better maintain or manage a relationship between you and somebody else or a group of people. All these 4 categories are explaining about emotional intelligence. So when somebody tells you the term emotional intelligence, this is what they mean. They mean, are you self-aware? Can you self-control your emotions, your feelings, your moods? Can you identify other people's moods? Can you tell if they're not okay or they're okay? Can you manage a relationship? Can you talk to people properly without letting your moods or your feelings or your emotions get in the midst of it? So this is what they mean by emotional intelligence. So it's very important for us to know our state so that we know whether we have high emotional intelligence or average or low. This will enable us to give us the opportunity to improve ourselves and know the areas that we're weak in and the areas that we have strength in. So before we started, we went through some questions, and those are self-assessment questions. Those questions, the main aim for those questions is for you to be aware of your current state. Do you have high emotional intelligence? Do you have average emotional intelligence? You need to improve in and the areas that you need to maintain. So also here in my screen, you can see self-assessment questions, some of them here on my screen. I'm just going to read them very quickly because we went through already a sample of test questions with Dr. Sako. So now here we'll just go through these questions shortly. The first self-assessment question is, I am usually a good judge of character, other people's character. So as we can see, this question is assessing, are you aware of other people's moods and emotions and state? Can you judge when somebody is angry? Can you judge when somebody is not okay? Can you judge when they're happy or when they're satisfied with something? So if your answer is always, that means your emotional intelligence is high. If it's often, also your emotional intelligence is average. Sometimes and medium, sometimes and never, that means you need to improve on your emotional intelligence. And this category of question, we see that it falls under social awareness. It tests your social awareness because it's talking about you in reverse to other people, in regards to other people. The next question is, I understand and respect the views of others, even if they're different from my views. As we said in the first question, if your answer is always and often, that means your emotional intelligence is high. And if your answer is sometimes or never, that means you need to improve your emotional intelligence skills. Also, this question, it falls under social awareness. You can test yourself by seeing whether you understand the views of others and to what extent can you accept them if they're different from your own. Also, we can see another question, in a group situation, I generally know how the members feel about each other. Likewise, the prior questions that we asked, if your answer is always, that means you're always, you always know in a group how the people feel about you or the current situation or about each other. If it's often or always, that means you're high, your intelligence is high, emotional intelligence is high. You're very much aware of other people when they're having different types of feelings about each other, whether it's positive or negative, and whether if your answer is sometimes or never, that means you need to make improvement in your social intelligence, in your emotional intelligence skills. Other questions are, am I confident about my existing skills and abilities and willing to learn new ones? This question is testing your self-awareness, which is part of emotional intelligence. It is a category, it's part of emotional intelligence. So this question is asking about your self-awareness. Are you aware of your current skills and abilities? If you're always aware of it, that means you're very cautious. That means you're very aware of yourself, of your abilities and your skills and your moods. But if your answer is sometimes or never, that means you're not aware of you're not aware of your feelings and your skills and your abilities. That means you have low emotional intelligence, which you need to improve. Another question we can see, if I'm feeling stressed, I know exactly what the stress is about. This also is self-awareness. It's under self-awareness category. And the following question is, can I interpret the mood of others when I communicate with them? So when you're communicating with other people, if they're not fine, that just by looking at them, can you tell if they're not okay? Another one, I find it difficult to make new friends. This is a statement or a question, a self-assessment question that is helping you to know if you're self-aware of yourself. Are you aware of yourself? Can you make new friends? Or it's very difficult for you to talk to people, to engage with people, and to interact with them? Is it very difficult for you, or it takes you time, or you just click? Like Dr. Sako said, for sanguines, a statement like this is very simple for them because they're very outgoing and talkative. So they have high probability to make new friends compared to other personalities. So from these self-assessment questions, you can assess yourself and see where you stand. And from there, you know which areas you have to improve in and which are the areas that you need to maintain and which are the areas you need to learn. The other self-assessment question for testing your emotional intelligence before we proceed is, when you're with other people, when they become emotional, how do you feel when somebody comes to you and they're feeling emotional? They're talking about something that is emotional related in front of you. Do you feel awkward? Like you would like to leave the situation, the conversation? Or do you feel uncomfortable? You're not sure how to respond to that person, whether to say, oh, sorry, or maybe let's take a look next time, or positive things, or you don't know what to say. Another situation is you're indifferent. It feels the same as, yes, Dr. Sako, I can see your hand is up.
Finish there. I want just to contribute something. I just want people to imagine about Mr. President Mwinyi and the President Magufuli as you are presenting this. Now look on those people, because every time emotions are there to turn us off or on. So I want people to be positively looking on some behavior and characters. That's all. I just want people to be aware that President Mwinyi even turned the way he looks at to be at something to laugh on rather than becoming angry about. But I don't know if someone someone else would have made it. So just think about those people and also yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sako, for your contribution. Also, we can see that if a person comes to you and they're emotional around you, how will you feel? Will you feel confident? Confident is you feel you're able to cope with the conversation. You're able to help them. And do you feel empathetic? Are you able to put yourself in somebody else's position or in somebody else's shoe? So this one will help you to self-assess yourself, to really dig into your awareness. Are you aware of how you're reacting when people are around you, and whether it is bad or good, and whether it is good for your social awareness skills? Is it good for you or is it bad for you? Because emotional intelligence skills are very important. All these skills, all these categories are very important to have, and it's very important to make sure we know our weaknesses and we know our strengths, so that we can make some personal development in ourselves as well as in our environments. So now we're going to look at the benefits of emotional intelligence. Of course, we have a lot of benefits of having high emotional intelligence. One being, actually, emotional intelligence has a greater impact on success than IQ. Like Dr. Sako said, that IQ is a level of intelligence of a person, the capability to learn, to memorize. Now, that capability can land you a job. If you're going to apply for a job, or you're going against somebody for a certain post or a role, that might get you that role or a post or that particular job. But it's the emotional intelligence that will maintain that role in that particular organization or that particular group. So emotional intelligence is very important because it helps you to maintain your success. It's very easy to obtain it, a certain position, by using your IQ, your level of intelligence. You might get a certain job or a role, but to maintain that job or that role, it requires you to have very high emotional intelligence. And what we mean is that it requires you to have the self-awareness skills, requires you to know yourself and know what triggers you off, know your moods so that you can control them. Also, it encourages you to know the moods of other people. So if you're in a certain role and you're able to be aware of yourself and somebody else, that will help you to manage relationships. And if you can manage relationships between you and your co-workers or colleagues or the people that you're leading, that will bring more success to the company or to the group. So this is a very important skill to learn and to focus on, especially if you want to be successful, because there's no success without people. Everything involves people. So you need to know how to interact with people. You need to know how they act and how to handle them and handle yourself. Also, another benefit of having high emotional intelligence is having poor emotional intelligence is linked to crime and other unethical behaviors. If a person is not aware of themselves, their strength and their weaknesses, if they're not aware that there's a particular behavior that I have that is not good, they feel everything they're doing is fine. They don't take input from other people. They don't care what other people are feeling or what other people think about a certain situation or a certain thing. They're self-oriented. They don't care about anyone else. This may lead to crimes. Even the people who are doing crimes, most of them, if not all of them, they have very low emotional intelligence because they don't care about anyone else except themselves. If they had high emotional intelligence, they would not do what they're doing because they will feel what other people are feeling. What if I do something and then somebody else get a loss? This will impact somebody else badly, negatively. They won't be doing it, but they're not thinking. They're not aware of themselves, and they're not aware of other people's emotions and feelings and moods and opinions. They don't care. So this is very, very important to improve, because also you'll be able to upgrade your behaviors. When you're talking to your parents, your friends, if you're self-aware of yourself and you know that you're very angry at the moment, you're feeling bad, you're feeling angry, you want to explode and say something very bad. But if you have emotional control, self-control, self-management, this will help you to avoid the thing that you almost did because of your mood, or because of your negative side, or because of your anger. So if you're talking to your parent or somebody who's older than you, or your friends, then you're saving a relationship. You're saving your friends from not being your friends. You're saving your family from other bad notions about you. Yes, I can see a hand.
Well, Madam Aziza, before you go far ahead, I would like to ask you, is there any difference between emotional health and the emotional intelligence? I mean, the difference between emotional health and the emotional intelligence. What's the difference, or is there any relationship between emotional health and emotional intelligence?
Yeah, maybe if I can chip in. First of all, when you talk about emotional intelligence, it might be positive or negative. But as she talks about emotional health, the only consideration there is on the positive side. So if you're healthy, that's why she gave an example of your boss tell you something, or your senior. Your response to whatever it tells you, whether it's good or it's bad, matters a lot. So both of them, to what we are training our people is to have emotional health. That is their positive side of emotional intelligence. Perhaps Aziza will continue with that. I just want to contribute on that question.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sako.
Yes, and if I may add, emotional intelligence, as we said, is something that you can learn. Like it's a skill. So this is why we're learning it, and we're reading about it so that we can improve it and know about it. Emotional health is your physical, is something that is in somebody's body. It's their health, their emotional health. There's a relation, but they're not the same thing. Your emotional intelligence might affect your emotional health, because if you're not self-aware, if you cannot control your feelings, this will give you a problem in your emotional health. About how you feel about yourself, how you view yourself, the moods that you're in, that is your emotional health. Whether you're angry all the time about something, you cannot let go of something from your heart, or you're not aware if you're angry or you're not angry, or over blasting everywhere, anywhere. You don't know who's older than you. You don't know who to talk to properly and who not to talk. Your emotional health is not good. That means you're not self-aware of yourself, and you don't have self-management of your emotions. That means your emotional health is not good. So in order for you to improve your emotional health, you need emotional intelligent skills. We are going to see how to improve your emotional intelligence skills. Because if you don't improve your emotional intelligence skills, then your emotional health also will not be okay. You'll always be feeling bad. You'll always be feeling depressed. You'll always be feeling out of place and anxiety. You're always anxious. You're always nervous. You don't have control over your moods and your feelings. Those are emotional health. But if you have emotional intelligence skills, It will help you to control those emotions that you have in yourself, in your heart, in your body, inside of you. It will help you to control the emotional health that you have, and for it to be positive instead of negative. Because if it's negative, then you'll be having other emotional problems, like you're always depressed, you don't like to talk to people, very overprotective, anxious, nervous. This is your emotional health. Your health is not okay. But if you have good emotional health, that means you're very confident, you're not depressed, you know when to remove a certain feeling or a certain thing that is not okay with you. You know how to put it aside, you know how to manage it and control it, so that it doesn't involve with how you react to people or how you react to yourself. I think maybe I should
Well, I've understood.
yeah. So
Thank you.
emotional, thank you for your question. Well, having high emotional intelligence is also very much linked into your health, physical health. Like I said through Isaiah's question, what you give to others, if you have bad emotions going through your mind, sometimes you're stressed. And if you're stressed, that means you will not feel like eating, you will not sleep well. This will cause problems in your next day. If you have engagements, if you have to go to work, if you need to get something done, it will be very hard for you to focus, because you're having other negative feelings in your body. You're not having the energy to do it. So physically also, it's going to ruin a lot of things. So it's very important to improve our emotional intelligence skills so that we can improve our health. We'll be much more active, we'll be much more happier, we'll not have stress. And if we have stress, we'll know how to maintain it and control it and manage it. So it's a positive thing for us. Also, we saw that having high emotional intelligence skills, it helps build healthy relationships with other people. Now, you can have relationships with people. This could be a bad relationship or a good relationship. But having high emotional intelligence enables you to have healthy relationships, because you're aware of what they're feeling and you're aware of what you're feeling, and you know how to talk to them, and you know how to carry yourself, and you respect other people's opinions, and you accept other people's criticism and compliments. So this builds a healthy relationship. It gives you more friends and durable business relationships. People invest a lot of energy towards you and a lot of friendship. So it is a good thing to learn and to be careful of. As we say, there are so many benefits in making sure that you have emotional intelligence. Very high emotional intelligence or high, because like we said, emotional intelligence carries almost 80% of our lives. It's based on how we deal with people, how we interact with people, how we talk to them, how we perceive them, how we accept other people's opinions about ourselves, about things. So it's very important to have this skill and to grow it, because there's nowhere we can be that there's no people. In jobs, you have to meet people. When you're at home, you need people. In your personal life, you need friends, you need colleagues to help you through different things in your life. So people are very important, and it's important to build this muscle, this skill. So as I said, we have so many ways to increase our self-awareness skills or our emotional intelligence. Self-awareness, as we said, is part of emotional intelligence. So when we talk about self-awareness, it's the same as we're talking about your emotional intelligence. So how can we increase our self-awareness? First of all, you have to define who you are. You have to ask yourself, who am I? You need to be aware of your current self, what you're composed of, what you think about mostly. Who are you? You have to know that. And also you have to define what you want to be. If this is who I am I happy with it? No, I'm not happy with it. Okay, who do I want to be? Instead of being this, I want to improve myself to be in a certain way. I want to be this type of person. I want to be a positive person. I want to have more friends. I want to have more business relationships. I want to grow. I want to be successful. So this is who you want to be. First, you need to know who you are to assess yourself, and then you need to know who you want to become. And also you need to accept feedback from other people. For example, me, I'm presenting here today. It's very important for me to get feedback from you so that I know the areas where I need to improve, and I know the areas where I'm good at, I need to maintain. So feedback is very important for progress and growth. And also another way to develop your emotional intelligence skills is by identifying behaviors you want to keep. After you know all your behaviors, defining who you are, now you have to identify which are the behaviors I want to keep, behaviors that you're okay with, the behaviors that are supporting me in my vision, in my mission, that are supporting me through my life, my job. Which are the behaviors that I want to keep, and which are the behaviors that I want to remove. And also you have to think about what are the behaviors you want to develop. Like I said, here I say that it's very important to develop emotional intelligence skills. So that means you have to adapt to the behaviors if that is what you want to develop. You have to adapt to the behaviors that are leading you to have high emotional skills, emotional intelligence skills. And then you have to experiment with this new behavior. Example, you don't like to smile. When you're talking to somebody or expressing something, your facial expressions are not very good when you're talking with someone, with somebody. So you have to learn this new behavior. By learning it, you have to experiment it. We say that skills are like muscles. You don't develop them in a day. You have to take them a day by day. You have to practice slowly. So this is what it means by experiment with your new behavior. If you don't smile, try to smile. When you remember that I don't smile, I need to smile, you smile immediately. Immediately you'll be used to it. If you cannot talk to people, or you don't like interacting with people, you just stay alone most of the time. And you don't like this behavior, you want to be outgoing, you want to talk to people, you want to make new friends. Try to at least say hello to other people when you see them. Instead of waiting for them to greet you, greet first. When you go somewhere, try to greet first and try to initiate a conversation before they initiate it to you. So it's good to practice it slowly, because you cannot grow it in one day. But if you remember, the time that you remember, just start building it like that. You can say that every day I'll just talk to one new person, somebody I don't know completely. I will just say hi to them and ask them how their day was. This is part of you experimenting with your new behavior, part of you developing your emotional intelligence skills. So before you know it, you'll be able to talk to many people, you'll have the confidence, you'll be more comfortable, and the rest is good. The other one is the other way, after having to experiment with your new behaviors, you have to reflect on your outcome and see. After I was talking to some new strangers, what was the outcome? Did I make new friends? Did I make new business? Did I gain so and so? What did you gain and what did you lose from that? It's very important to view on the outcome. because this outcome will be your motivation. It will help you to do it again and again and again. So it's very important for you to reflect on your outcome, and then you continue to practice this new behavior continuously. So gradually you'll be able to grow this skill. Your emotional intelligence skills will be high, or they will improve very much. They will improve a lot. Do you have any questions, anyone?
Yes, madam. I have one question. If the outcome is more of negative, do you have to practice it again, or you just leave it?
After the outcome is negative, I think, in my opinion, you have to see why is it negative? Is the negativity coming from you or from them? Is it the way you approached them or what you said? What is the source of the negativity? Because if you attempted to go to them or approached them positively, how would the outcome be negative? So there must be a source of that negativity. You have to look at why is it negative? And then you can remove the negativity if it's from your end, or adjust it. If it's from their end, also you can adjust it or remove it by telling them.
Just to add to that, I want to make a quote like this, which says, an uncontrolled emotional outburst, and I repeat, uncontrolled emotional outburst, even though it may make you feel better temporarily, can do major harm to your relationship. When your relationship are not voluntary, such as with your colleagues at work, minimizing this type of damage is essential to health and the productivity of your relationship. To change is not an easy thing, and you may fumble around, but if you've got a program for improvement, always you'll fall down first time. You may not realize the positive result second time. You may not do it third time, but the fourth time, there is a good dividend. It's not something you expect to come one day. I think you've met a lot of people in life who say that I don't take a shit. If you put me a shit, I also give a shit. And you look on that person, we call them immature babies. He has got beds like me. He has got white hairs like me, but now he's still a baby of class four. So does not matter of the age. If you're poorly trained on your managing on emotions, you may end up doing some of the things which nobody else would believe that you could do. Emotional intelligence is very important also in marriage. Everywhere. Now, if you are married to a very poor, emotionally controlled husband or emotionally unaware wife, I can assure you, you will never be happy in that marriage. Then that's why this training also can engross. You may give someone else whom you want to improve those questionnaires, so that at least through the discussion also they become aware of themselves. Because what the most difficult is not aware of others. It's very easy to point finger to others. There's a saying that if you point one finger to other people, 3 fingers goes to yourself. So with this knowledge, it helps a lot of improvement strategy. I think Madam Aziza said when he began that 20% is what you get in the class. 80% of whether you be successful or not successful in life is about emotional intelligence. So if there's something to invest for sometimes, this is an area that you need to dig through. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sako, for your input. Also, we can see other ways of increasing our emotional intelligence skills. Another way is by greet people by their name. If somebody tells you their name, please try to remember it. For example, me, I don't remember people's name unless I see 1, 2, maybe 2, 3 times occasionally. Normally, I don't remember people. This is a negative thing, if you want to grow a relationship with them or to build your relationship with them, especially in a workplace, then it's going to be very difficult for you. It's very challenging. So the good thing is to greet people by their name. When you're addressing something to somebody, it's best to call their name so that they know that it's them you're addressing. So this is one way of increasing your emotional intelligence skills, especially in the category of social awareness. And also watch body language. When you're talking to somebody, they'll be doing something. If they're angry, they'll be making angry faces or gestures. What are they doing with their body when they're talking? This is a good way also to practice understanding and being aware of other people. You cannot be aware of other people if you're not looking at them and assessing them. What are they thinking? What are they doing? Why are they reacting as the way they're reacting? So you need to watch their body language. This will help you learn more about other people and what they're feeling in that state. Live in the moment. Don't talk to people and be thinking of something else in your mind. Then there'll be a collision. You will not be able to understand what somebody is saying. And if they're telling you something that is emotional, you won't be having empathy with them because you're not collaborating. You're not understanding them. You're thinking about something that is different from what they're saying. So live in the moment so that you can understand and bond properly with people and what they're saying to you and their feelings and their moods. Also, it's good to practice the art of listening. This is the same as to live in the moment. Because if you're not living in the moment, that means you're living in some other moment, some other world. You're thinking about something else. You're not listening. So you need to listen. If you listen, you'll understand and you'll be aware of somebody's feelings and body language and how they react. And also the other one is to step in their shoes. When somebody is talking, try to imagine yourself in that particular situation. If they're telling you about a disadvantage of something or something they went through, just try to position yourself. What if it was me that who went through this particular, how would I react? How would I feel? That will increase your social awareness. You will know more that, oh, this person is really feeling bad or really feeling good about this thing because you empathize with them. You're putting yourself in their position. So it's another way of growing your emotional intelligence skills, especially in the category of social awareness. And also in increasing your relationship management skills, which is also part of emotional intelligence, is to be open and curious. Be very open to people. Don't tell them something else and then hide other things. And don't be afraid to ask. If you're not understanding what they're saying, ask them. At least they'll know that you need more explanation on that thing instead of taking words that they did not mean or they did not say. So always also take feedback properly, whether it is criticism, whether it is compliments. Try to take it from somebody in a positive manner. Take it well and try to improve on that particular thing. Also, it's very important to build trust between you and other people. When people trust you, they will have a good relationship with you. You will know more about them. You will work with them more in the job places. You'll have more opportunities from them, and it will lead to good relationship between you, whether it is personal or business. Also, it's very important to acknowledge other people's feelings. If you're feeling happy and somebody else in your circle is not feeling as happy as you are, or she or he is feeling bad, that means it's good to acknowledge other people's feelings as well. Don't just look at yourself and say, I'm okay with this. There's no need to talk to anyone. They'll spoil my mood. No. It's very good and very important to acknowledge other people's feelings about things. And if you're doing something, whether you're at a workplace, whether you're a boss or you're holding a certain position, it's good to listen to people. How do they feel about you taking that type of decision, so that you get to maintain the relationship with them, so that they feel that you care about them and you care about their improvement and you care about their feelings and emotions. So this will will close the bond between you and your colleagues, your friends, and other people who are surrounding you. So this is another way of improving your emotional intelligence skills, especially in relationship management category that is also under emotional intelligence skills. Now, after seeing how to improve our emotional intelligence in different grounds, different ways, now let's see, how do you know if somebody is emotional intelligent? How do you know if somebody has high emotional intelligence? Maybe you're wondering, you're in a workplace, or you're in an organization, or you just have a group of friends. You want to know whether my friend is having high emotional intelligence or low emotional intelligence. Or you want to know about yourself, whether am I having high emotional intelligence or low emotional intelligence. So some of the signs that might lead you or may lead you to know that this person has high emotional intelligence is the following. He or she has an ability to identify and describe what other people are feeling. If you have a friend who identifies when you're not okay, even though you do not tell them, and they know that you're having a certain problem, that person probably has some emotional intelligence skills. Her emotional intelligence is probably high. That is why they're able to identify a feeling when they see somebody and to describe it. They'll tell you if you're not happy, they'll say, today you're not looking very happy. Today you're looking stressed. Today you're depressed. Today they're very active in knowing, in identifying feelings from other people who are surrounding them. That means there's a sign of high emotional intelligence in that particular person, even if it is yourself. Another one is an awareness of personal strength and limitations. If you personally, you know your strength and you know your weaknesses, that means you're self-aware of yourself. So if you have self-awareness, that means you have some amount of emotional intelligence in you, because you have that self-awareness that you need, that is making you aware of your strength and your limitations or your weaknesses. Also, self-confidence and self-acceptance. If you're not very confident, or your friend is having a lot of self-confidence more than you, and they accept themselves for who they are, that means they know themselves and they accept that they need improvement. They accept they need to grow. They know their limitations. They know their strength. That means they have high emotional intelligence. And a person who does not accept themselves and they're not confident about themselves, they have very low emotional intelligence. Also, other signs are the ability to let go of mistakes, the ability to accept and embrace change, a strong sense of curiosity, especially about other people, feelings of empathy and concern for others. Whenever they see somebody in a certain position, they empathize with them. They feel as if they're the ones who are going through that thing or that condition or that situation. That means they have very high emotional intelligence. Also showing sensitivity to the feelings of other people. Normally we have people who don't have sensitivity for other people's feelings. If you go and tell them something, they'll just disregard you. They don't care. As long as they're doing fine, they don't care if other people are not doing fine or they're doing fine. So that if you see a person who's reacting like that towards other people, that means they have very low emotional intelligence. They don't have social awareness. They're not aware of how other people are feeling. They don't have empathy. Another sign is accepting responsibility for mistakes. You cannot accept responsibility for your mistakes if you're not aware that you have done a mistake. So a person who says, I'm sorry, or apologizes to you after doing something that is wrong, and they know that it's wrong, that means they know themselves. They're aware that what they did is not okay. So that is also a good sign of that person has high emotional intelligence. Also, the ability to manage emotions in difficult situations, especially when you're working in an organization and you're a manager or a leader, and something bad has happened to you, maybe at home, maybe your marriage is not okay, you fought with your wife, you fought with your mother, you fought with your sibling, you came to work. Now, when you come to work, you're coming to work with a difficult situation. You have a situation in your mind that is making you not to be okay. So that can affect other people and how you treat them. But if you can manage your emotions and keep them aside from how other people are reacting, or in a certain situation, if you can manage to put your emotions aside, especially negative ones, from ruining your relationship with other people or controlling how you act to other people and towards yourself, that means you have high emotional intelligence. So if you have a friend, or if you yourself are having most of these signs, that means it's a good sign you're having high emotional intelligence. And the opposite is true. If you see somebody who's opposite of all these signs here, that means they have negative emotions. So they have low emotional intelligence. Also, we have different ways which we can increase our emotional intelligence, which also we discussed prior, but these are some of the other things we can include, which are try new things and escape your comfort zone. If you try new things, that means you're going out of your comfort zone, which will enable you to develop your self-control. Because if you're going out of your comfort zone, that means you're going against your mood. You're not feeling like that particular thing, but you're going against it. So this will train you to have self-control, which is also part of emotional intelligence. And also you have to reflect on your emotional responses to understand them better. Whenever you're talking to people or in a certain environment, you have to reflect on how you talk to people. After maybe having an argument or you're in a certain situation, then when you go out of that situation, make sure you assess, why did I react like that? Or what triggered me to be like that? So that you can develop your skills, your awareness. This will help you develop your emotional intelligence skills. Also, you have to listen actively and notice body language, whether it is, sorry? Also, you have to actively listen and notice body language. It is very important, so that you're aware of what other people are feeling at the time. Other ways is to practice new behaviors consistently. By assessing yourself, you will know your weaknesses and your strengths. So after you know your weaknesses and your strengths, you need to practice those new behaviors that you want to acquire, and leave the behaviors that are weak, that you want to remove. This will also help you to improve your emotional intelligence. And also getting feedback from other people. If you have done something or you completed something, it's good to ask people how you did and what their inputs are for that particular thing. So the more inputs you'll get, you will know that people are different and you also have room to improve yourself. This will bring more success and increase your personal development. So this is about emotional intelligence. Dr. Sako, do you have any more inputs about this topic?
Aziza, you made it, but you never talked that quote. That quote is important. Maybe you read it for us as you conclude, please.
Okay, to conclude, I would like to quote that you can conquer almost any fear if you will only make up your mind to do so. For remember, fear does not exist anywhere except in your mind.
Wow, that's very inspiring. Thank you so much. I think you made a very good recovery to that. Now, Feroz, as we just point around you when Aditya concludes, I think you need to realize emotional intelligence, EQ, or sometimes we call it emotional content rather than the intelligence content. It was about set of skills. It includes time management. It includes decision making, change tolerance, ability to tolerate change, include communication, team skills, presentation skills, anger management, asceticism, accountability, flexibility, trust, you mentioned even customer care. So if there is one skill that a person should engross, is the so-called emotional intelligence. And you remember, Madam Aditya covered about self-awareness. And to know about self-awareness, just to recap a bit, as I just conclude to allow people to ask some questions. First important thing is question about your values. What are your values? Do you have values? Are you easygoing, or you have got certain set of values you trust on? Do you have integrity, or you just live because you live? Those are the values. Check yourself very thoroughly. Know what pushes your buttons, what pushes your emotions. Stop and ask you, why do you think or you do things the way you do? But as Madam Aziza said it very well, always seek feedback. Now, to better manage yourself, you need to take control of your self-talk. Many people among us, sometimes you just, oh, I'm so stupid. Never say that so in your life. That's part of weak emotional management. It means you say so without even thinking. How can you call yourself stupid? Then who is wise? So take control of your self-talk, self-blame, self-feeling of feeling very bad, very pity. No. It's not appropriate. Control that emotion. If you control that, you can control even other areas of your life. Please, smile, laugh. Life is too short to miss those. In the grave, we'll never smile. We'll never laugh. So feel good to laugh and smile. Always be happy. This is life. Enjoy it. But also learn to listen to people. How do you learn to listen to people? Any person you meet in your life, get something to learn from them. Any person you talk to, you converse to, try to learn something new, something better. And that will improve your self-awareness and self-management. Now, on the second part, she introduced about social awareness. And I think Fratel Isaac, you're around? Oh, she's not in, he's not in. Yeah, but what she said is about greeting people by name, and what she wrote on the screen there. But also, always practice the art of listening. Always be empathetical. Feel what people feel. I remember someone I met and said, Sako, my father passed away last week. I didn't even cry. You know, I'm very tough. I told him, you're stupid. He reacted because he never expected me to tell him so. He thought that you can be laughed by not crying. It's part of that. It's social awareness. You are a social animal. You can't be unique. A person who tells that he can't cry, his uncle has died, I think he has got some emotional sickness. You said about emotional health. Emotionally, it must amount to you, but you must control it. This is what we are saying. So social awareness, you need to be careful in a social on body languages. Just Madam Aziza said it very well, but also be always empathetical. Be always empathetical. But also she finished by discussing on the relationship management, where they talk about, she discussed what she told about be open and curious, always. Inquire more from people, but also be positive on feedback. When people give you feedback, be positive. Build trust by having a high degree of integrity, but also be ready for tough conversations. Don't run away. I told you about babies. I've got a lot of babies in my life. When you find it difficult, you can just react like a child at home who say, Mama, don't do me that, then bang the doors and everything. So many mature people who have got beds like me. That is so stupid. Sorry for saying so. Emotionally zero. And they are dangerous in leadership. They are dangerous in life. So move from there. Grow up above that and enjoy the best thing in life. I think the quotation which you made last, Madam Aziza, maybe you repeat it. The one you quoted from that man. Yeah, I think that's very, I think this is something to take home for all of us. You can conquer almost, maybe read it, please. Adija, I know my voice is not good like yours. My English is from Tanzania, so yours. So please read it for us again. Put down in perspective and give us some insight on that.
You can conquer almost any fear if you will only make up your mind to do so. For remember, fear does not exist anywhere except in the mind.
And that's very true. Emotions are the one that shows what people they're doing. I remember when I was in a secondary school, one of our teachers would beat us in the class. Then we'll go to the toilet and laugh very much, saying those people are very stupid. They are just reacting out. But when he comes, you can see his clumsy, you feel like you want to kill someone. Then from there, he goes out and laughs. But you know, it's just emotion. He's praying with your emotion. He's praying with your mission. And I'm sorry to say, in issues of marriage, sometimes even men and women, they may pray with your emotion. So be above that. Understand the emotional management. Not only that, but even your boss in the office might be reacting the way he reacts because of weak emotional management. So don't be part of the victims, but understand them and their emotional capability. Some of the people have never gone through this school, and I can assure you, to most of us, this is not taught at school. You learn it from experience, but sometimes after making a lot of mistakes. So to conclude, remember that emotions play a very important role in every interaction you have with another person. And whether you are aware of them or not, whatever is happening, even now I'm talking to you, I'm using a lot of emotion, placing my voice, talking to you, trying to sum up, trying to explain to you. There is a lot of emotion that are going on, even to your side. And my way I put my face up, the way I talk up, it makes a lot of difference. That's why I say, relax, laugh a lot, enjoy the moment. Otherwise, we had expected to continue with Isaac, but for today, I think this dose is enough, unless DJ have got something to present more. But I think if people started with exams, okay, you want to talk about teamwork a bit? Oh, that will be for next week. Otherwise, you'll feel it. There's a lot to have learned today. All right, so I think putting something else will cause the good food you've eaten might be mild. So I can see the evidence of the diet. It is short, but you've got homework to do. So utilize the remaining time to finish up your homework. All of us have got that analysis and the assessment sheet. So please go through it and finish it, and even make a strategy, make something to improve on your emotional management. And before you know it, I believe to most of us, we see them rising to another next level in whatever they do in life. Having said so, unless you are ready to take from Madam Aziza, she's ready. I think she's strong, emotionally stable. She can go to the team working skills. But I think, despite the fact you want to finish these things very fast, I think this dose of emotion, it just helps us to continue to digest it further. We'll send more books for reading on the group. There are 2 books which are important on emotional intelligence, but also for purpose of understanding, we'll send a book and the YouTube link, so that those people cannot read the whole book, they can understand within 20-15 minutes entire book concepts. This is very important. You've got very little time, so please go with that. We are expecting to do our examinations by the 4th. By the 4th of September, that will be the examination date. It will be a 2-hour session. Those people will pass. They are going to be put in our database as facilitators, supporters, but also they will go to the level of getting a mentor for them to understand better. The mentor will carry you through certain chaotic view, and then those who pass the normal will have just their certificate, but those who will be exemplary, we expect them to join to the IMCT Leadership Institute for Development of Leadership Skills and Ability to other people. So don't worry. Anything you may need as a support, after 2 weeks from today, we are going to have some few presentations for finalizing. So the next week presentation will be just be on time, and let's finish on time, the 3 hours, and the other week presentation will be double for Saturday and Sunday. Why? Because you want to finish 2 weeks from now the presentation. Then since we are few, we may engage you with your mentor. We find some people with the leadership capabilities around the market. We'll engage you with them. You may ask anything about what you have learned before the exam. You may learn. They may provide you at least 2 to 3 hours on a weekly basis for your conversation. So we'll try to talk to you to see what type of a mentor you want at least to help you, and then we shall support you to the end. So the next 2 weeks before exam, you'll have a lot of time to engage with your mentor, someone who has made a remarkable input to the marketplace, and someone who is a leader, so that as you go to be certified, you've got an initial mentor whom you follow. I argue you to also read the biographies of the great leaders in the world. We'll send you some links on the YouTube, on the group, so that you may engross. Since these skills, you learn them at mature stage, keep on learning. And the better you learn, the better you understand. Having said so, I would like to invite Madam Aziza to recap some few things let's take home, and then to conclude our lecture today. Thank you very much to all who attended this meeting. I appreciate. Remember the date of 4th of August, 4th of September. Please mark it. So be ready. If you miss the presentation slides, you'll get them. I'll also allocate you next week after lecture of next week. We'll assign you to the mentor who will support you to the end. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sako. Thank you. For me, my end is just to make another input that interpersonal skills is a very large topic. It involves so many skills inside it. For example, this week we talked about emotional intelligence. We also have a lot of interpersonal skills that we will be discussing in the future, like Dr. Safo said, maybe perhaps next week and other days. We have team working skills, we have social skills, negotiating skills, persuasion skills, public speaking skills, presentation skills, and others. So we have a lot of interpersonal skills that we will be looking at apart from emotional intelligence. My last word is that each one of us are still learning, and we want to be the best of how we can be in the future, in our personal lives and in our business lives. So my take is that it's very important for us, after having discussions about these skills, it's very important to apply it. If possible, start applying these skills tomorrow. Start building your emotional intelligence skills by tomorrow. After you wake up tomorrow in the morning, act differently. Try to have control over your emotions. Don't let your emotions ruin your business, your relationships, your happiness. Sometimes we ruin our things, our destiny, our missions, our visions, ourselves, and not other people. We're the ones who are making it, and we're the ones who are breaking whatever we want to achieve. So for us to reach our success levels and success in businesses, relationships, everything, we need to improve our interpersonal skills. It's something that we need to learn gradually. So don't say that I will learn when I need it. Start learning it from now. So by the time you need it, it's already high, it's already good. It can benefit you in one way or another. That is all I'm going to say. So I wish you also all the best for the people who are doing examinations, September. And to the team, I ask you to please put everything that we have discussed into action. Try from tomorrow to put these things into action. Learn other people's names. Greet other people before they greet you. Have a smile in your face. Have positive attitudes. If you're feeling negative, try to control that feeling. Try to reduce it. Try to remove it from your system. And get another positive mood, so that it can help you in your daily life. And you will see that your life will start changing slowly, slowly, slowly. By the time you notice it, you have made a tremendous change in your life. And I do thank Dr. Sako and the Institute of Management Consultants Tanzania for allowing us and giving us this opportunity, as though we need it, and we hope that we can get something out of this institution and from these lectures and these discussions. These discussions are not just for discussing. These discussions are mainly because we're here, we want to change our lives, we want to be successful, we want to be known, we want to be powerful, positively make some changes and impacts in other people's lives. So please let us take everything very seriously, and let us please put everything that we have been talking about into action. That is all I can say from my end, Dr. Sako.
Thank you very much, Madam Aziza. I would like to invite one person from the group, but otherwise I'll just want to remember. Next week, we are going to finalize about the so-called team working, negotiation, and some small skills. After next week, the next weekend after next week, you're going to have a very tough, or can say compacted weekend. Before 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, we'll be having about the presentation and public speaking skills. That will be our last topic as far as the leadership is concerning. So the week after next week, that will be on the 27th and 28th, will be compacted with the so-called leadership, with the so-called presentation and public speaking skills. So we have some exercises on Saturday And on Sunday, we expect people to make a presentation with PowerPoint, ability to use the Zoom, and then we put a mark there to understand whether all this attendance has been well. Please, I'm not threatening people. When people hear examination, this is mature class. It's not like the school class. So even questions which will come will be multiple choice. It's the general knowledge. It's not a very specific. We won't ask you about the quote from Dale Carnegie. No. That would be stupid. Just application of knowledge. The question will be trying to test you about your leadership situational analysis. That's all. So once again, behind the scene, there is Mr. Dale. Dale, thank you very much for making this up every day. At least we start on time. And also behind the scene is Aziza trying to prepare thoroughly, but also there are participants who have volunteered their time and energy to be with us every afternoon. After the examinations on 4th, we'll continue with the management consulting skills. For those who continue to get certification in management consulting, this will be our coverage, just consulting skill until November when we'll be doing the exam for consulting skills. Otherwise, once again, smile, enjoy your life, trust God, and trust other people. Keep your emotion positive. There is something called emotional bank. I think you know about the motivation speakers. When you go to a motivation meeting, your temperature goes high. And as this goes on, your temperature goes down again. So that's part of emotional management. That's why some people are saying, motivational talk are not good, but they are good because if you apply what you're being told, only 5% of people who attend the motivational meeting, motivational speaking meeting, do apply what they're told. So they blame people that motivational talks are not good, but it's not true. It's because of lack of discipline, they come back to the same level. So as your emotion is up today, maintain that emotional bank. Keep on reading. Keep on engrossing and understanding about emotional management. Having said so, if there is anyone with contribution, anyone want to say a word? Otherwise, maybe I give 1 minute, at least if someone wants to say something. Even to say to Aziza, well done. You know, she's an emotional person also. She's not, she wants to feedback also. Madam Aziza, please continue to laugh. But now when she laughs too much, she can't concentrate. That's a challenge. All right, so please, anyone to say something?
Yes, doctor, I have one question. Do you offer more option for exam date if someone is not ready?
So you need to join another group because this is a continuous classes. Until we said, so you need to go for the next 8 weeks. Then you may go, but with so you need to keep on waiting for the other group to finish on 8 weeks, then he or she can do the exam after this one. Are you worried about exam?
No.
But you're allowed to attempt it 3 times. So if you don't make this time, you don't make it next time, then 3 times. There is attempt of 3 times, different exams, but they said to be different. Have I answered your question?
Yes, doctor.
Okay, thank you. Any other question, please? All right. Otherwise, thank you very much, everybody. May God bless you. Let's meet again next week. Let's be on time, and we start on time. Goodbye.
Okay.
Have a great week to start.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.